All right, we're going to look at the Polymaker Polysher right now, and I'm going to walk you through some basics on how to use this device. First of all, I should point out that to turn on this device, you're going to simply click on this on and off button down here. Once you click it on, you're then going to hit this open and close button up here, and this will raise it up. Now I should point out, when you use this Polymaker Polisher, you have to make sure you're using the filament that only Polymaker makes. And this is going to be some of their actual filament. And you'll notice that, first of all, this will be in a container like this, so you'll have to make sure it's sealed. So make sure it is in there. Make sure that you zip it shut as well to make sure air does not get in there. All right, so once you have that, you'll have an object that obviously you're going to print, and then you're going to put this simply on this little display tray up here. Now, where this gets tricky is this, and it's not really tricky, it's just you need to make sure you follow the basic steps. First of all, you're going to note down here, which it's kind of hard to see, but I'll point this out. You've got two different little heads like this. You're going to notice this one right here has little vents in it. Now, if I tried to turn this on right now, it wouldn't work. And the reason it wouldn't work is because right now, over here, it's got this one. And this one does not have any of those vents. This is the storage one that you're going to use. And down here, which is kind of hard to see, you'll see, which I don't know if you can see this or not, but there is alcohol, and you'll put alcohol in that little location for this to work. So right now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to test this out with a print that we don't even have, but I'm going to close this, then I can just move this. You'll kind of move this thing down, you'll push it down, and then we'll go ahead and hit close this. Now the alcohol for this is stored in Mrs. Deslot's room, so I'll show you where that's at. But to get the alcohol in and out, you'll use this, and this is like a little turkey baster, but you'll push this down into the alcohol, you'll squeeze this, and then you'll let go and it will suck up some of the alcohol, and you'll place that down there. Now, to get this to actually start, you'll click this middle button. So you'll push this little middle button, and then you'll see these little lights. When you move this little dial, there will be different lights that light up on the side. Now, I should point out, each one of these is worth 5 minutes. So right now, I'm just starting this, and you'll kind of see that it is depressing, or not depressing, it is actually releasing some of this alcohol. It's turning it into a mist, and if I had an object in there, it would then actually start spraying this object. Now, over here, this button does the chamber light. So this just changes the amount of light that you have on this, on your object. So there's different LED lights that are in there, and you can kind of press these to your heart's content in terms of which one that you actually like to use while it's going. Once this is done, which we will try to get this to stop, I will then try to power this off. We'll stop that. And it will wait till all of that alcohol is being released. So this whole thing is going to be completely airtight. Let's see if it'll actually let me do this. I know I can turn this off and on. But once this alcohol is actually out, then you'll be able to click on this button and it will raise up like you normally would. Never try to stop this mid-print while it's going. Now, a couple things. This is not a 3D printer. This is just more or less a polisher. So once you have your object, it will spray this alcohol on top of it, and then it will then start to eat away these little lines. And it does a really good job with this. I'm going to grab this over here. Here are two objects. Now on this one, which you can kind of see, you can see the lines as this thing is being printed. And you can see each little line, this little horizontal line, And you can see, and this is not bad quality. Maybe it'll show up a little better on this gold down here. But you can see these lines. Now, with the Polymaker, you're going to see with this one, it kind of eats away those lines. So when it's done, you'll have this nice little polished object. And this one was not even really left in that long. The longer you leave it in, the more details it eats away. So you can kind of see on this cow's head right here, the nose, you can kind of see it's kind of blending in. So a few of those little details, actually this is supposed to be a reindeer puppet now that I look at this, but again, you can see kind of some of those details kind of eat away. So that's the one potential negative that you have. Once you're done with this, if you open this thing back up, then we'll actually go through and we'll put this storage tank lid back on. Now, if I had a longer print on there, normally you would have alcohol on the top of this. So normally we've got two of these little tanks right here, or these little, I don't know what you call it, these little platforms. That's the word I'm looking for. You could just take the whole platform off with your object, and then you can set this over. Now, one thing I should point out: once you use this thing, your model, when it's sitting on top of here, it'll be really kind of tacky. It'll feel very, very slimy, so you have to let it dry out. So once you do this, just kind of move this over, put it on my desk so it can kind of sit there and dry. And it will take a couple hours usually for it to dry the way you want it to dry. Then you can just put your other object on top of this, your other little platform. When you lift this up, if you kind of move this in the little catty corner, little direction, it will kind of catch on the backside over here, and then that will sit. Then you can just pick this thing up. You'll put your other little lid back on top of this. Again, over here, this is where it releases the alcohol, so you want to make sure that part is covered. And you'll just push this thing down. Then you can close it. Oops. Before you do that, you do need to push this down. Then you can close it. And that is more or less what you were going to do using this little Polymaker polisher.